Hey guys, Savannah here. I am back for another Flosstube video. Sorry, I need to adjust this just a little bit. As you can see, it's a little different than normal. I am behind the camera instead of in front of it. I chose that just because, honestly, I'm not happy with the way my skin is looking today. And I didn't want to be distracted by that, seeing it in the camera. So I figured I'd set up everything like this that I've worked on in September and go about it this way. I don't know how people can film like this. Just the camera, like the tripod and the camera, it's all in my way. Like, I feel like I'm going to bump it a lot while I'm trying to move things. So if I do, I'm really sorry. It's right in front of my face. I don't know how everybody else does it. Like sure, I can get my tripod to go up real tall and I could probably set it to the side, but then I don't know how to zoom in while recording and without seeing the feet of the tripod. Like, I don't understand. So this is what you get today. I'm sorry if you don't like this. Maybe next month will be better and I will be back in front of the camera again. So let's get started. For September, I decided to use my wheel on my phone. So I don't have an iPhone, so I don't have Tiny Decisions, but I do have an Android, so I'm using Decision Roulette, like a few other people are using. And it's great. It works just fine. The reason why I decided to use my wheel for September was because I was watching Blitz Stitch on YouTube. Gosh, it was probably at the end of August. It had to have been right at the end of August. I was watching one of his videos and he was talking about how he was going to rotate his projects to get, so that he could work on something he liked, but also get the close to finished pieces done. And I really liked that idea, and so I pulled out every single whip that I had and realized not a single one of them were close to being finished. Nothing could have been a focus on a finish, and I was just like, no, it was very I actually got quite anxious about it. I was like, are you kidding me? I don't have anything. I didn't have a single thing that was close to being done, and it made me nervous. It made me anxious. So that whole plan was thrown out the window. I was like, crap, I can't do that. Because I have, I think, 17 or 18 whips, but then I have a huge pile of starts that I want to do as well. So I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? So I decided to get the wheel, and I put all of my whips on it. And I figured every Friday I will spin that wheel and I will work on that piece until the following Thursday. And then on Friday morning, I will spin the wheel again. So I've been doing that, and I record it and put it on my Instagram stories. So if you want to see those every Friday, you can follow me on Instagram at Sewlivi, SEWLIVI. I'll have it in the description below once this uploads. So I've been doing that, and it's been working out really great. Like, I have this huge pile of projects that I got to work on in September, and they're getting closer to being, they're showing progress, and it's very motivating. So I'm going to continue to do this, doing the wheel thing for a week, and then working on a project for a week. It takes out the guesswork of what I'm going to work on next, kind of thing, so I don't have to, stress over that. Because I'm the kind of person who is going to just think and think and think and overthink what I'm going to do. I do that even in projects. Like, I don't know what symbol I'm going to work on next, or, I'm not, like, which one is the best, most efficient way to go. Like, I struggle with that. That's what takes up a lot of my time while stitching, is trying to figure out, especially if it's a project that has a lot of color changes but isn't a full coverage. Like, you know? Anyways, so I'm rambling again. And you're just staring at this pile of stuff. I'm sorry. Anyways, so that's what I've been doing for the month of September. I'm going to keep going in the month of October. My birthday is on Saturday, the 6th, but I don't think I'm going to do anything special stitchy-wise for that. I think I'll just continue to go with what I got. I did update my wheel just today. I decided to add a slot in my whips wheel part, a slot that says start spin the new start wheel, and then I made a whole wheel for all the new starts that I would love to get my hands on. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, on to the whips. And there is one finished in this pile. Okay, so the wheel spun, the beginning of September, the wheel spun Halloween rules. And I was super excited about that. So I think I already had this done? No. So I picked this up and I got the top border finished and the very first part of this pattern, the wear a costume. So just the little doggy ears. That's it. So this is what it'll look like when it's finished. I'm sure you've seen this. It's all over Instagram lately. But here is mine. I might have shown this in my last video. I don't remember. Anyway, so that was that first week. And then the wheel spun my floral world map. Now, I don't have a printout picture of this piece. It's from Etsy. The designer, or the shop is called Stitchline. She's got a ton. He or she has a ton of different patterns, and this is one that I fell in love with a couple of years ago. This was a Mania start in 2017, and then in 2018 for Mania, I restarted it because I wanted it on better fabric. Anyways, so I picked it up. I had just this. Like gray, or not gray, this yellow and blue right here done in just this corner of Africa, and then in 1 week I did all that. And believe me, the whole time I was stitching Africa, I had that Bless the Rain song stuck in my head every single time, every day when I was stitching on Africa. Song was stuck in my head. I swear that song is on the radio every single day lately. It's a great song, but I'm just like, oh, it's stuck. Is that a loose piece? No. So anyways, I got a really good chunk of this done in 1 week, and I was pretty proud of it. I did go on the Etsy page, and I noticed that they had the same, world map, but it was galaxy, and I'm like, oh crap, now I need that one too. So we'll see. We will see. So there was that one. And then the next Friday, pulled up this one. This is a freebie chart from Cottage Garden Sampling. And I decided, yay, a new start. I get to do this one. And I really like the way that this pattern looks on the paper, but then when I started stitching it, I was not sure. I'll be honest, I was not sure. I did get it finished in 3 days, because it's a lot smaller than I expected. I'm always confused. Like, yeah, sure, I can, it says 80 by 30. Sure, I could get it, I can do the whole math and all that stuff, and it'll tell me how big it'll be, but you never know until you actually see it. Oh, where's the light? There it is. Anyway, so, I don't know. I mean, it's cute now that it's finished. So I had the idea to finish it in this cylinder type, like this little candy shape. And it was funny. I thought I had black tulle in my stash, and I didn't, but I had orange, so there was a change already. And then I wanted to do black ribbon, but I don't have ribbon, but I had this black jute, so I'm like, okay, well, I guess, not everything is going to work out how I want it to be, but it's finished. The designer, she really liked it, so she actually put it on her Facebook group, so that was pretty awesome to actually have something featured on a designer's page. Yep, I have this out on my tray out in the dining room as a decoration. You know what? I forgot to tell you guys all the fabric stuff. So this is I think a 16 count Aida in like a raw color. I don't know. I just had a scrap of this left over from a project a couple of years ago, so I just used that. This one, the Floral World map, is 18, or not 18 count. This is 28 count Jubilant in black. And then this one for the Halloween rules, it's on 32 count. It says 32 count Murano in mushroom. It's the same one I did my Lizzie Kate jingles on. Anyway, so that's that. And then the next Friday, my wheel chose the Ode to Mary needle roll. So this is what it'll look like when it's finished. I do not plan to actually finish it as a needle roll. It's just not something I need. I don't know exactly how I'll finish it, but just not that. So it's by Dames of the Needle. I know this is on Etsy. This pattern's on Etsy, so you can find it there. I bought mine secondhand off of Stitch from Stash or a similar type site. So when I first started this for the is it Leah or Leia, her Tudor style, I started in this bottom corner down here. And the lighting is terrible. I'm sorry about that. It's pretty overcast today. Anyway, so I did the Mary cipher and I was able to get the lion done, and then I had a big chunk of the green and the sandy part. I had it outlined so that I could just fill it in. That's what I had when I picked it up this month. That was what was finished. So I went ahead and filled all this in. I believe I used the wrong color. So I had these couple of rows finished and before I picked it back up again, and it kind of looks lighter than this. You can't probably tell on the camera. But yeah, that's because I'm converting everything to DMC myself. As you can see here, everything is in, oh gosh, Weeks Dye Works. Where does it say? You know, I don't see it on here. I believe, oh, Gentle Arts, my bad, right here. So everything is charted in Gentle Arts with no DMC conversions at all. So I printed out a sheet for the conversions, and I think the color, yeah, the color that is for the tan, you know, the beachy areas and the path, it's actually had two different colors listed for DMC, and so I must have used the other one originally and then didn't write it down. And use the other color. But anyways, so this is what I got finished in a week. And that's all one page. I mean, you can see here is the start of the next page up. But this is one page in the pattern. So that's exciting. I hope I explained myself properly. Again, this is what it'll look like. So I'm right here. That's a little bit on the next page is right here. This right here, this is actually the designer's cipher / signature. It says in the pattern that I could chart my own, but I didn't know how to turn my initials into something decent looking, so I just omitted it. Not a big deal. And then next, my wheel chose my Mushroom and Fern chatelaine. And I was kind of happy about that, only because I have not touched this since 2017. Like, that felt weird to, you know, to even think about it. Like, it was starting to make me feel really bad. So anyways, I was pretty happy. But then once I picked it up, I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a lot of work. So this is what it will look like. And this is where I am. So let's get this out of the way. So I had a lot of this finished already. I mean, I still have to do the center bits, these corner little bits, but I really don't. I'm not looking forward to that part. Anyway, so what I added was there's a whole bunch of like satin stitches. Let's see if I can. This is a really big piece of fabric. So there's a bunch of satin stitches in these tree bar trunk here. So I filled all that in. I put in the spider web. I worked on these sleeves right here, which are a pain in the butt. It's a lot of fractional stitches in those sleeves. I filled in, it's hard to do through the camera viewer, I filled in the specialty stitches. In this, I missed one right here, so I'll have to go back and do that one too. So I filled those in. I did this little snail, which was not fun at all. He has 13 different colors, 14 different colors. Just absolutely crazy how many. I can't even get like a good. It's just nuts that there's that many colors in that tiny little snail. Like, look, that's how big he is. That was frustrating. And then I went up here and I did all the little Jessica stitches, and I stitched the mushrooms. So the page break is like right here. You know, you can see right here. So I figured I did the mushrooms just because I wanted them fully done. What I'll do next, the next time I get to pick it up, is I'll probably do the back stitching on these sleeves, and then I'll start working this bottom corner. And so what it is I'll put this down so you can see a little bit better. It's this repeat minus, you know, a different mushroom. You know what, it'd probably be better to show you this way. So see, the page break is right here. I'm going to do all of this because this is the next page. I'll probably start working on this the next time I pick it up. I don't know. See, that's one of those things that takes up my stitching time, is trying to decide which way I'm going to go. Am I going to go this way? Am I going to go this way? You know, kind of thing. But since I already have this bottom part, you know, this part done on this page, I might as well just stay on the page and do all of this. So there is that. And then on this past Friday, oh, that's gonna be hard to see. My wheel decided that I needed to work on Lavender and Lace's Firefly Fairies. Man, that is a tongue twister. So it looks like that. To me, it's just Flora, Fauna, and Mayweather from Sleeping Beauty. I forgot to tell you real quick. Sorry. This is a 28 count. I don't know what it is. It's an even weave. It's super, and I hand dyed it myself to look like that. So it was white, and then I just hand dyed it to give it like a bluish. Well, it's gray. It's a gray color. It's not blue like the camera's showing. Anyway, sorry. We'll go back to this. See, I'm all over the place. I always forget stats. Anyways, this one. This was also a Mania start for 2017. So I worked on it just that day, and then I worked on it again in May of 2018 for just one day, and I had barely anything on it. I honestly just had just this part, just for the sleeve, and so I worked a little bit down here, and then, you know, just filled in a little bit there, and then decided I was going to go up. Whoa, that's not gonna work. That lighting is terrible. Oh, I am so sorry, guys. I wish I edited so I could cut that out. Oh, that's terrible. I am so sorry. That's me for adjusting for you. Let's see if I can get this. That's because it's on the Q-snap. I can't bring it any closer. Like that. So, yeah, this whole area whoa. I'm going to have to leave it down, guys. So this whole area right here is a ton of, where's that pin? It is a ton of different colors. It's just, it doesn't feel like there is much of, you see it's like a bunched up fabric. So it's not very easy to stitch. And it was very, what's the word? I can't even think of the word. Just very disheartening to try to figure out, you know, where am I going to go now? Which color should I do next? Which symbol, you know, which way should I go, kind of thing. And then, so I was looking up here, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of, like, the same color. Like, there's a big chunk of the same symbols right there. So let's work our way up. And so I did her back. I did a few little goof up stitches there, but hopefully it won't matter once it's all done. I worked in that. I mean, the whole top part, though, is beads, so that's not going to get done. But I figured I could get that in there, and then I can come back and focus on this. I figured I'll focus probably just on her and get most of her done, and then move to the next or whatnot. My fabric, I bleached myself. It looks a little too uniform for me right there, but you know, that's the best I could do. I want to say that this is a, oh, I have the thing right here. Sorry. It is a 32 count Belfast in cobblestone. So the called for fabric for this piece. Yep, cobblestone linen. Yep, it's called for piece, and then I dyed it like it says. I mean, it's got this cool piece. I've never seen anything like this before. I think I could, yeah, I can show this to you guys. Like, it's got this cool thing right here. It gives you the instructions on how to bleach your fabric. You have a section where you can chart your own colors. And then you got this, like, this outline. For whatever reason, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, I guess so that you can see where, you know, you can trace this onto another piece of paper, lay it on your fabric, and then see where you want your burst to be. I didn't do that. I just kind of winged it. I think I marked like the center of my fabric and went up just a little bit from there, since, you know, the center is like right in this area. So if it was right in this area, then obviously go up a bit. It is what it is. No big deal to me. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so I got just a couple more days on this. Then I will be spinning the wheel again. Again, sorry for knocking my camera over. I apologize greatly for that. That's about it. I think I'm just going to leave it here. And I hope you guys have a great day. And